Ever look around and feel buried? Closets packed, to-do list never ending, phone buzzing nonstop. The more we pile on, the more stressed out and distracted we get. That's why less is more hits so hard. When you clear out the extra, it feels like you cleared out your head too. Less stuff can mean more breathing room, more focus, and a little more freedom. Part 1. Why life feels heavier as you get older. Listen. After 55, a lot of folks think they feel heavy because they got old. That's part of it. Sure, your back talks more, your knees complain, but most days you ain't tired from age. You're tired from carrying too much stuff, too many worries, too many bills, too much noise in your head. I've stood in my garage and just stared at it, like it was somebody else's problem. Boxes stacked up, old tools, old holiday junk, things I might need someday. And I'll be honest, half the time I don't even know what's in those boxes. I just know it's there, taking space, taking breath, taking peace. And every time I see it, my shoulders drop. So you close the garage door and you walk back in, and you tell yourself you'll deal with it later. But then, later comes, and you're still tired. And now you feel guilty too. That's how more works. It doesn't just sit there. It talks to you. It whispers. You're behind. You're messy. You're slipping. And it does it every single day. Then you sit at the kitchen table, and there's the mail. Power bill, property tax notice, insurance letters, credit card offers, acting like they're doing you a favor. You flip one envelope open, and you already know what it's going to say. Pay up. Prices went up? Sorry. And you don't even have to be broke for that to feel heavy, because it feels like the ground keeps moving under your feet. Your Social Security check comes in the same, month after month, like clockwork. But gas doesn't stay the same. Groceries don't stay the same, and medicine sure doesn't stay the same. You go to the store for a few simple things, eggs, bread, coffee, and the total at the register makes you blink. So yeah, you start doing that old habit, the one where you count in your head and hope you didn't miss something. And then there's the pharmacy, CVS or Walgreens, and that place can humble you fast. You stand at the counter, and the clerk tells you the price, and you feel that little sting right in your chest. You don't yell, you don't make a scene, you just nod and pay, or you ask, is there a cheaper one? And you hate that you even have to ask. Medicare helps. Sure, but it doesn't make everything free, and those copays can still bite. Now add the quiet, not the good quiet. I mean that empty quiet. Evening comes, TV on low, same commercials, same noise, but the house still feels quiet. The phone barely rings, unless it's spam, and that tells you something you don't want to admit. So you sit there with that glow from the TV, and your mind runs. Bills, health, the garage, the next doctor visit, the next surprise cost. And here's another truth nobody likes to say out loud. The kids are busy. They live far away. Different state, different life, different schedule. They love you. Most of them do. But their days are packed. Work, kids, traffic, everything. So you don't want to bother them. And you tell yourself you're fine. And then you look up, and it's been a week since you had a real talk with anybody. That's when the weight gets real heavy, because it's not just money or stuff. It's the feeling that you're on your own, and you have to keep it together no matter what. You start carrying the whole world in your head, and you call it being responsible. But listen, being responsible ain't the same as being crushed. So when people tell you, just relax, it sounds like a joke. How do you relax when your garage looks like a storage unit, your table looks like a bill station, and your mind won't shut up? You don't need a fancy program, you don't need a new planner, and you sure don't need more stuff. You need to admit the simple truth. You're carrying too much, and it's making you tired. And I'm not saying you fix your whole life in a weekend. That's not real. But you can cut the weight in small ways, the kind of small that a tired person can actually do. Start with 10 minutes, not a whole day, and pick one spot, one corner of that garage, or one shelf in that closet. Grab 10 things and put them in a box marked Donate. And don't overthink it. Just move them out of your life. Then do the same with the noise. Turn the TV down, or off, just for a little while. Sit at that table without opening more mail tonight, and tell yourself, not now. You're not ignoring life. You're taking a breath so you can handle it. Because when you're drowning, you don't need more water. You need air. So yeah, life feels heavier after 55, but it ain't only your age doing that. It's the pile you built, and the pile life handed you, and the pile you kept because you were scared to let go. But here's the good part. You can start dropping the weight, one small piece at a time, and once you feel that first little bit of space, you'll remember something you forgot. You were never meant to carry it all by yourself. Part 2. Shopping to feel better. Then feeling worse. Listen. I'm not here to shame you. I've done it too. You have a rough day? The house feels too quiet. Your head feels too loud. So you go run one quick errand. You tell yourself it's just to get out of the house, just to feel normal for a minute. And for a minute, it works. You walk into Walmart or Target, you grab a cart, and you say, I'm only getting one small thing. Then you see the end caps, the bright signs, the sale stickers, the coupons, the buy one, get one deals. It starts to feel like the store is talking right to you, like it knows your weak spot. Next thing you know, that cart has extra stuff in it, and you don't even remember putting it there. The funny part is, it doesn't feel like spending in the moment. It feels like you're taking care of yourself, like you're doing something nice, because life has been hard. You look at a new shirt, a gadget, some kitchen thing, and you think, well, I'm not hurting anybody. But the bill doesn't care how you felt when you bought it. The bill just shows up later. Then you get home, you carry the bags in, you set them down, and you feel that little lift fade out. It's like a soda, sweet for a second, then it leaves you thirsty. The stuff goes on a shelf or in a closet, and the house is still quiet. And if you're honest, you don't feel better. You just feel busy. And online shopping is even worse because it's too easy. That Amazon box shows up on the porch. You tear it open at the door, and for 10 seconds you feel like a kid again. Then you look at what you bought, and the excitement is gone. Just like that. Now you've got one more thing to store, and one more charge you got to remember. A lot of folks over 55 do this when they feel bored or lonely, and they don't even call it loneliness. They call it, I just needed to get out, or I was just looking. But the truth is, a quiet house can mess with you, and a phone that doesn't ring much can make you feel unseen. Shopping becomes something to do, because sitting still feels too honest. And let's talk about the money part, because this is where it turns mean. Gas prices climb, grocery prices climb, medicine prices climb, and your Social Security check stays the same. That's not you being dramatic, that's just life right now. It costs more to breathe. So every little treat takes a bigger bite than it used to, even if it's just $20 here, $30 there. Then you stop at CVS or Walgreens to pick up your meds, and that price hits you like a slap. You stand there, you swipe your card, and you try to keep your face calm, but inside, you're thinking, are you kidding me? That's the kind of moment that should wake a person up, because that's not a want, that's a need. And when needs cost more, wants better get smaller. Later on, you sit at the kitchen table with your credit card statement, and that's when the fun turns ugly. You see the balance, and you see that interest charge, and you wonder why the number won't go down. You pay what you can, you tell yourself you'll do better next month, and then next month comes with a new sale and a new excuse. It starts to feel like you're walking uphill in wet boots. Here's the thing. Shopping doesn't fix the real problem. It covers it. If you're lonely, a new toaster doesn't call you back. A new shirt doesn't sit with you when you feel low. If you're scared about money, buying more stuff doesn't make you safer. It makes you tighter. It's like putting a bandage on a leak. It looks like something, but it's not stopping the water. Now I'm not saying you can't buy anything nice. I'm saying don't let your hurt drive the car. Ads are built to make you feel like you're missing out, like you're behind, like you need one more thing to be okay. They don't get paid when you feel calm. They get paid when you feel itchy and restless. So if you're feeling restless, that's the worst time to spend. So what do you do right now without punishing yourself? You don't need a budget chart. You don't need a fancy app. You just need one clean rule you can follow when you're tired. When you want to buy something you don't need today, you wait 24 hours. Not forever, not never, just one day. And yes, that wait feels weird at first. You'll think about that item, you'll imagine how nice it'll be, and your finger will hover over buy now. But then you go make coffee. You sit down, you watch that urge rise and fall, and you learn something about yourself. Most of the time, by tomorrow, you won't even care. And if you still care, you'll buy it with a clear head instead of a lonely one. So listen, next time you feel that itch, say it out loud. I'm not shopping. I'm hurting. Then wait 24 hours before you buy anything you don't need today and give your future self a break. That one rule won't fix everything, but it will stop the spiral. And stopping the spiral is how you start to breathe again. Part 3. The noise in your head screens. News and feeling left behind. Listen. A lot of folks think they feel tired because they're getting older. But I've seen something else wear people down faster than age, and that's noise, the kind you can't turn off in your head. It's the TV. It's the phone. It's the endless updates that never make your life better. And the worst part is, you don't notice it at first. You just feel more on edge, more jumpy, more worn out. You know the scene. It's evening, you're in the living room, and the TV is on low. It's cable news, and it's the same scary stories looping, crime here, crisis there, anger everywhere. They say breaking news like the world is on fire, even when nothing in your house is actually breaking. So you sit there, half watching, half staring, and you can feel your body tighten for no good reason. Then the phone starts up, buzzing with alerts. Spam calls, random numbers, and more breaking news pings. You pick it up thinking it might be somebody you know, and it's some robot voice, or some scam, or a headline trying to hook you. That does something to a person. It makes you feel like you're always supposed to react, always supposed to worry. And after a while, your mind forgets how to rest. Morning comes, and you try to do one nice thing, sit on the porch with coffee, just breathe a little. But the phone is right there, and your eyes keep dropping down to it like it's a magnet. You scroll without meaning to, and now you're reading about problems you can't fix, or you're watching short videos that don't fill you up. So the day starts, and you already feel behind, even if you haven't done a thing yet, and social media can mess with you in a different way. You look at Facebook, you see people smiling at grandkid photos, beach trips, big dinners, happy pictures all lined up like a parade. You click YouTube, and it's the same thing. Other folks acting like life is easy, like they're always busy and always loved. You know it's not the whole truth, but it still gets under your skin. So then you start feeling that word nobody likes. Invisible. The kids are busy. Work, their own families. And they're not calling like they used to. Some friends are gone, some moved, some just drifted, and you don't even know how it happened. The world moves fast without you, and when you see it on a screen all day, it feels like you're standing still while everybody else runs. Now, I'm not saying technology is evil. It's not. A phone can help you, a video can teach you something, and a call with your grandkids can light you up. But too much noise breaks you down, and that's just the truth. It hits your sleep, it hits your nerves, and you wake up tired even when you think you slept enough. You ever lay in bed and your mind won't shut off. That's not just getting older. That's stress. That's too many alerts, too many stories, too many worries stacked up in your chest. Some folks feel their blood pressure creep up. Some feel a tight feeling that comes and goes. Some just feel worn thin. I'm not your doctor. I'm just telling you what I've seen. When the noise stays high, the body pays for it. And here's the part that makes me mad, but I'm going to say it plain. The ads and the headlines make money off fear. They don't get paid when you feel calm. Calm people don't click as much. Calm people don't buy as much. Calm people don't stay glued to the screen. So they keep you stirred up, and they call it staying informed, even when it's really just keeping you tense. So what do if you're not trying to live like a monk on a mountain? You take back one small piece of your day, and you guard it like it matters, because it does. Pick a quiet window, one set time every day with no TV and no phone, even just 30 minutes. At first it'll feel strange, like you're missing something, but what you're really missing is the habit, not the truth. In that quiet window, do something simple and real. Sit at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee and just look around your own home, like it's yours again. Or step outside and look at the yard, the driveway, the street, the normal life right in front of you. Or take a short walk around the block. Slow is fine. The point is to move through the real world, not the screen world. Then, when you come back, notice how it feels. Your shoulders drop a little, your breathing gets easier, and your head isn't buzzing as much. You might still have problems, bills, health stuff, family stuff, sure, but you're not adding fake emergencies on top of real ones. And that's a big deal, because when your mind calms down, you can actually think straight again. Listen, you're not weak for getting pulled into the noise. The noise is built to pull you in, but you can choose one small fence to put up, one quiet window a day, and that's how you start getting your life back. You don't need to know everything that happened in the world today. You need to know how you're doing right now. And when the world feels like it's leaving you behind, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is turn the volume down and stand still long enough to hear your own voice. Part 4. A Big House That Feels Cold, Loneliness in Later Life. Listen. Loneliness after 55 is real, and it doesn't care if your house looks nice from the street. You can have a clean yard, a 2-car driveway, and the lights on inside, and still feel like the place is empty. People think loneliness is just being alone, but it's more like feeling unseen, like you could disappear for a day and nobody would notice. You feel it at the kitchen table. That's where it shows up first. You heat up a frozen meal in the microwave, you put it on a plate, and you sit down across from an empty chair. The refrigerator hums, the house is quiet, and the TV is on low in the background, not because you love the show, but because you hate the silence. Then you look at your phone, just to check, and there's nothing. No missed calls, no new messages, just spam, or some random number trying to sell you something. That's a hard moment, because it makes you feel like the world has plenty to ask from you, but not much to give back. And before you blame yourself, don't. This happens to good people, strong people, people who raised families, worked decades, paid their dues, life changes, retirement hits, folks move, people pass on, and suddenly your circle is smaller than you ever thought it would be. A lot of the time, the kids are in another state. They've got jobs, their own kids, their own bills, and their days run like a machine. They love you, but they're busy, and the calls get shorter, and the weeks go by faster than anyone admits. So you start doing this thing where you don't call them first, because you don't want to be that parent. You don't want to sound needy. You don't want to be a burden. You don't want to add one more thing to their plate. But listen, that's how the loneliness grows. It grows in the quiet places where you keep your mouth shut. Weekends can be the worst, especially Sunday. The day is long, stores close earlier, and the air feels like it's telling you to sit still and think. And holidays like Thanksgiving. Man, they hit different when the house is quiet, because you remember the old noise, the plates, the talking, the fighting over football, the real life of it. Some people try to fill that hole with TV, or shopping, or scrolling online. It's something, but it's not the same as a real voice in the room. A screen can distract you, but it can't look you in the eye and say, "How you holding up?" And let me say one more truth. A lot of folks carry a fear under all this. They're scared of ending up in a nursing home, not because they hate the place, but because it feels like losing control. They're scared of needing help, and they're scared their family will see them as a problem to manage instead of a person to love. That fear makes people pull back even more, like hiding will protect them. But hiding just makes the house colder, and it makes your mind louder. The way out isn't big and dramatic, it's small and honest, and it starts with being around people again, even in simple places. You don't need a huge social life. You need 1 or 2 real points on the map. A local diner where the waitress knows your face, a church service where somebody shakes your hand, a community center or senior center where folks sit and talk like normal humans. Those places still exist, and you don't have to fit in perfectly. You just have to show up. Now here's the part that feels awkward, and I know it does. You have to reach out first, because waiting around for someone to rescue you is a long, cold wait. And you don't text, because texting is easy to ignore. You call, because a call has a heartbeat. So pick one person today, just one. An old friend, a cousin, a neighbor, somebody you used to talk to more. Call them and keep it simple. You don't need a speech. You say, "Hey, I was thinking about you. Got a minute?" And if they can't talk, you say, "No worries. Call me when you can." That's it. That's the first step. You're not begging. You're not being weak. You're being human. And once you do it once, it gets easier the next time, because you remember the truth. Most people are lonely too. They're just waiting for somebody to break the ice. Listen, sitting alone won't fix itself. The house won't warm up just because you keep the TV on, and the phone won't ring just because you stare at it. But one call, one diner visit, one Sunday where you show up somewhere, that can start changing the feel of your life. And if you're sitting there thinking, "Yeah, but I'm rusty. I don't know what to say." Good. That means you're normal. Say less. Ask one simple question. How have you been? And then listen. Really listen. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a small crack in the wall. And that's how the light gets in. Part 5. Holding on to stuff is holding on to memories. But memories aren't in the box. Listen, most of us don't keep old things because we need them. We keep them because they hold a piece of somebody or a piece of a time when life felt full. That's not silly. That's human. I'm not here to make fun of that. I'm here to tell the truth about what it turns into. You open a closet or climb up to the attic, and there's that old cardboard box with your handwriting on it. Inside, there's photos, letters, maybe your high school yearbook, an old jacket, and some kids' stuff from when they were little. You touch it, and you can feel the years, like they're sitting right there in your hands. For a second, you're not even in your house anymore. You're back in the old days. Then you sit down on the living room floor, and you spread it all out around you. Your hands move slow, because every item has a story, and every story has a face. You tell yourself, "I'll sort this today," but you just end up staring at it. It's hard to decide what to keep, because it feels like deciding what mattered. So you put it back in the box, and you shove it back where it came from. That's how these piles grow, one box at a time, one not today at a time. Next thing you know, the spare room isn't a room anymore. It's a storage room. And when someone comes over, you feel that little shame, like you have to keep that door closed. I've seen garages like that too, packed so tight you can't even walk straight. The walkway gets narrow, the floor gets cluttered, and it's easy to trip on something you forgot was there. One loose box, one old rug, one stack leaning, and you're stepping around it like you live in a maze. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm saying it plain. Tight walkways and clutter don't mix well with older legs. Here's the line that hits hard, and I want you to hear it. If I got sick and had to go to the hospital, who would deal with all this? That thought comes at night when the house is quiet, and it's not just about the mess. It's about control. It's about not wanting your life handled by somebody else. A lot of people think letting go means throwing their life away. It doesn't. Memories live in you, not in the box, not in the jacket, not in the old yearbook. The box is just cardboard. The memory is already in your bones. So what do if you're not ready to clean it all out and you shouldn't force it anyway. You make one simple rule that's kind and firm. One memory box, one medium plastic bin, and you label it Keep. Big letters. No fancy system. Everything that really matters has to earn a spot in that one bin. That rule changes things because it makes you choose. You can keep the best of your life without keeping all of it. You can keep the photo that makes your chest warm and let go of the 5 other copies that just take space. You're not being cold, you're being smart. And here's a trick that helps more than people think. Take a photo of the item before you let it go. Hold it up, snap the picture, and save it in an album on your phone called Memories. That way the story stays with you, but the clutter doesn't. It feels strange at first, but then it feels like relief. Now, when it's time to pass things on, don't just dump it all and feel sick about it. Do it the normal American way, the way that lets you feel good after Goodwill, a church donation bin, a yard sale on a Saturday morning. Those are all honest paths for old things. It's better than letting it rot in a box until nobody knows what it is. Also, think about who gets it, because sometimes the right home is one person, not the whole world. Pick one person in your family, or a friend, and write their name on a sticky note. Put the item in a small bag, stick the note on it, and set it aside. That turns stuff into a gift, and it makes the letting go feel clean. But listen, don't try to do this for 8 hours. You'll burn out and hate it. You do it in small bites, because you're not a machine. Today, you choose 5 items, just 5. Keep 2, donate 3, and then stop, even if you feel like you could keep going. When you stop, you'll notice something. The room looks a little better, your shoulders feel a little lighter, and the air feels less tight. That's the point. Not perfection, just lighter. And once you feel that lighter feeling, you'll want it again, because it feels like getting your home back. So be gentle with yourself, but don't lie to yourself. You're not organized, you're just holding on, and holding on has a cost. You can keep the love and lose the clutter. You can keep the memory and lose the weight. Start with 5 items today, keep 2, donate 3, and let that be enough for now. Part 6. Money in Retirement. Don't let stuff steal your peace. Listen, I'm not here to teach you stocks or tell you you're bad with money. I'm talking about the quiet leaks, the little cuts that happen every month until you wake up one day and your peace is gone. In retirement, money stress hits different because you don't have that same paycheck coming on Friday to cover your mistakes. So we're going to keep this simple and useful, like porch talk. Picture the kitchen table, a pile of mail spread out like a bad card game. Electric bill, water bill, insurance, a credit card statement, and a couple envelopes you don't even want to open yet. You sit down, you sigh, and you already feel tired before you do anything. That's not weakness. That's what it feels like when life keeps taking little bites. Your Social Security check comes in the same, month after month, like it's stuck in time. But groceries go up, gas goes up, and medicine goes up like it's racing somebody. You go to Walmart or the grocery store for just a few things, and the total at checkout makes you stare at the screen. So you start doing math in your head, and it makes your stomach tight. Then you hit the pharmacy, CVS or Walgreens, and the meds cost more than you thought. You pay the copay, you swipe the card, you keep your face calm, but inside you feel that sting. Medicare helps, sure, but it doesn't erase the worry. It just changes the shape of it. And when health costs climb, the room for extra stuff gets smaller, whether we like it or not. Now let's talk about the part that sneaks up on people. Stuff keeps costing you after you buy it. Sometimes it's a storage unit payment. Sometimes it's a garage so full you can't park the car. But you're still paying to keep it all. You're paying with money, and you're paying with space, and you're paying with stress every time you look at it. It's like owning a pile of problems you don't even use, and the world is full of little monthly charges that feel harmless until you add them up. Streaming services, cable bill, phone plan add-ons, apps, Free trials that turn into charges because you forgot to cancel. One might be $10, one might be 15, and you tell yourself it's not a big deal. But 5 not a big deal charges can turn into a real bill, the kind that sits on your chest at night. Then there's the small spending that doesn't look like a leak because it's daily life. Fast food because you don't feel like cooking. Snacks at the gas station. A quick deal online. One more little gadget that promises to make life easier. It feels like you're only spending a little, but it adds up fast, like water dripping in a bucket. And when you're on a fixed income, that bucket fills quicker than you think. Now credit cards. Listen, I'm not saying they're evil, but they can trap you quiet. You buy something, you mean to pay it off, then something else happens, and the balance sits there. Then the interest shows up, and it feels like you're paying rent on your own mistakes. No math lesson here, just the truth. Interest keeps you stuck, and stuck is a scary place to be in retirement. So what do we do? Without panic, without shame, without acting like you can turn back time? We stop the bleeding first, because stopping the bleeding is how you breathe again. You don't need to find $1,000. You need to find the leaks, and plug one. Even one plug can make you sleep better because it gives you control back. Here's the simple rule I live by now, and I wish I learned it sooner. If I didn't use it in 6 months, I don't pay for it. That means if you haven't watched that channel, cancel it. If you haven't opened that app, delete it. If you're paying for a storage unit you haven't touched, get honest about what's inside. It's not about being cheap. It's about not paying for ghosts. And here's your do-it-today action. Nothing fancy, just paper and a pen. Write down 10 monthly charges, cable, streaming, phone add-ons, storage, subscriptions, anything that hits your account each month. Circle 3 that feel like junk, the ones you wouldn't miss in a week. Then cancel one this week, not someday, this week, and notice how it feels when the bleeding slows down. So listen, money in retirement isn't about being perfect, it's about staying steady. You can't control the price of gas or groceries or medicine, but you can control what you keep paying for. Cut one leak, feel that little relief, and let that be your first win. Because peace is not a luxury, it's something you protect, one simple choice at a time. Part 7. Staying Good Enough. Healthy for Independence and Dignity. Listen, this part ain't a fitness video, and I'm not trying to turn you into a gym rat. I'm talking about staying good enough healthy so you can live on your own terms and keep your dignity. Because the real goal at this age is simple. Get up, walk, cook something basic, drive if you still can, and handle your own day without begging your body for permission. You know that quiet worry I mean. You feel it at the CVS or Walgreens counter. You're standing there. The clerk tells you the price of your meds, and you nod like it's fine, but it stings anyway. You think about that Medicare card in your wallet, and you think about copays, doctor visits, and how it all adds up, even when you're covered, and you walk out trying to look normal, but your mind keeps doing the math. Then you catch yourself in the bathroom mirror, and you notice you move a little slower now. Not in some dramatic way, just small stuff. You take longer to stand up. You turn a little careful. You don't rush like you used to. It's not shame. It's just the truth. Time does what time does. But the good news is, you can still do something about how steady you stay. One bad fall can change everything, and you don't need me to prove that. It's not about fear. It's about being honest. Falling isn't just a bruise. It can steal months. It can steal your confidence. It can steal your freedom. That's why good enough health matters. Not for looks, not for bragging, but for staying on your feet. And staying on your feet is staying in your own life. Now look around your house for a second, because this ties right back to what we've been talking about. Hallway clutter, loose rugs, a crowded walkway. That stuff turns your home into an obstacle course. You shouldn't have to squeeze past stacks, or step around cords, or shuffle sideways like you're sneaking through your own place. Less clutter means safer steps, And safer steps means you stay independent longer. So the first habit is boring, and it works. Clear the path. Pick one hallway, one spot from your bedroom to the bathroom, and make it wide and clean. Move the box, tuck the cord, get rid of the loose rug if it slides. Make it so you can walk at night without thinking. That's not decoration, that's respect for your future self. The second habit is movement, not workouts, just movement you can repeat. A 10-minute walk after a meal is simple, and it's not about speed. Around the block if you can, or up and down the hallway if the weather is bad, or even in the kitchen while the coffee brews. The point is, you tell your body, we're not done yet, and you do it again tomorrow. Here's a tiny test you can do, and I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm just giving you a mirror. Can you get up from a chair without using both hands every time, or do you have to push hard to stand? If you have to push, that's not a moral failure. It just means you need a little more leg strength and balance in your week. And the way you build that is not magic. It's small movement. Often. The third habit is food. And again, nothing fancy. A basic meal at home beats constant fast food because fast food is easy now and expensive later, in money and in how you feel. Scrambled eggs, a sandwich, soup, chicken and rice, whatever you can make without stress. That's enough. You don't need a perfect diet. You need steady fuel, so your body doesn't feel like it's running on fumes. The fourth habit is sleep, because sleep is where your body pays its bills. Turn the TV off earlier, not because TV is evil, but because noise keeps your brain awake even when your eyes are tired. Lower the volume, dim the lights. Give yourself a softer landing into the night. A calm night makes a stronger morning, and a stronger morning makes you less likely to stumble through the day. And I want to say this part out loud because people don't talk about it enough. A lot of you don't want to call your kids for every little thing because they live far away, and they've got their own lives, and you don't want to be a burden. That's not pride. That's love mixed with fear. But the best way to not be a burden is to stay steady. And staying steady is built in the small daily choices you make when nobody is watching. So don't wait until you feel like it, because you won't always feel like it. Do the small things that keep your life yours. Clear the walkway. Move a little after you eat. Make one simple meal and quiet down at night. None of that costs a fortune. None of that needs special gear. And none of it requires you to be perfect. It just requires you to start. Here's how you start, and this is the whole action for the week. For the next 7 days, take a 10-minute walk after dinner every single day. No excuses, just 10 minutes. If it's cold, walk inside. If it's raining, walk in place. If your knees ache, go slow, but go. Do that for 7 days, and you'll feel something real. Not a miracle, but a little more breath, a little more strength, and a little more trust in your own body.